On that play, that didn't happen.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
18 Gator.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Jones. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Five.
Jones now on third down. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
With it is Jackson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ready.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down.
Tight right. Go.
He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's what I'm talking about. Sex all day, baby.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting.
Now Barkley stripped of the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's a quick throw caught by Higgins. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. He'll drop to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Ian Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jones. Over the middle, complete. It's Burns. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Watch the screen. Go.
Here's Jones, throwing on 1st down. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Burns. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Jones, from the gun, he'll throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Jones, a final shot before break. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime, and what's been a... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
It's Hill, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Sanders now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. Watch the seat. Go.
Throwing again. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing Jones. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Check 9, check 9.
This is Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
10-2 stop. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Cut.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones over the middle. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Jones now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones got his man complete over the middle. It's Burns. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set, ready, 60 or. Watch the pass. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Jones now on first and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21. Back to throw. Jones. A short throw to Ingram. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Giants on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Check, Mike 52.
Here's Jones. Operating from the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
On the double.
51 for Mike. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Get it.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Saquon Barkley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, he had the big run to get down there, so you got to let him finish it off, don't you?
I think so, but what I liked even more, the fact that he wanted to finish it off. How many times have we seen a guy break off a big run, and we see that universal sign where he's tapping his helmet to get me out of the game? No! Stay out on the field and enjoy the benefits of the success you created.
And he hits pay dirt because of it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Sanders on for the field goal.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Jones going to throw again, and he comes back with one complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Hey, let's go.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
the defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical.